My new book, Facts That Aren't True, is out now. Don't forget about my other book, Rational Answers to Stupid Questions. Click the link in the description now.
I gave you my answer.
No, you didn't. You started telling me a bedtime story. And your story was the Bible. So again, we don't need the Bible. If the earth is 6,000 years old, we don't need the Bible to know that. Okay? So what evidence do you have that it is that old? And can we get some ping pong paddles in the chat, please, everybody?
There is no substantial evidence that proves billions of years.
So there's nothing but evidence of that, but the question was, what evidence do you have that Earth is precisely 6,000 years old?
Well, the evidence that I don't really feel I need evidence, sir.
That makes sense. It doesn't. What I mean is, coming from you, that makes sense.
So you just don't believe the Bible because you choose to, basically.
The evidence made it impossible to believe.
In other words, you chose not to.
No, not really.
Yeah, you made a choice and you chose not to.
No, because I don't decide I don't decide if the evidence is going to allow me to believe in something or not. That's really silly. That's like saying, look, could I eat something that I like and just decide that it does not taste good? No, you cannot make decisions like that. And you can't decide what you're going to believe either.
Yes, you can.
Okay, don't believe in God right now. Do it for like 5 seconds.
Okay, what's your point?
Did you do it?
Imaginarily, yes.
Oh.
So again, the point is people choose their beliefs.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They always choose.
Give me an example.
Everyone chooses what they believe about the earth, how it got here.
Nope. Did you choose to believe in God?
Yes, I did.
How did that happen?
I chose what I believe, sir.
So your argument, your evidence that you choose to believe is I chose to believe. So like, let's say somebody took credit for an invention, and then this other person's like, whoa, wait, no, I invented it. And they go to court, and one of them, the person who is like you in this situation, goes, yeah, I invented it. And then the judge or whatever says like, okay, well, what evidence do you have? Oh, I did it, fam. Is that evidence?
It's your word. Your word is good enough sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Is your word good enough this time?
Okay. Yeah, it is.
That's great. Can you do me a favor? Could you tell me what the last word in the next time you talk, could you tell me ahead of time what the last word you're going to say is?
Why?
Cool. Anyways, where are you from?
Florida.
That was absolutely hilarious. So it's funny how you didn't say why, right? You told me the last word the next time you speak is going to be why, and then you didn't do it. Almost as if when I asked you a question, you just automatically gave an answer and didn't really actually think about it or choose what your words were going to be. That was fascinating. I've never done that test before, but you failed it with flying colors.
What was the? Okay. What was the test?
I'm not going to tell you. Josh, could you just real quick? Could you say I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
Okay, now let me tell you and everybody what you're apologizing for. You are apologizing to the trees of this planet for wasting the oxygen that they produce. That is what your apology was for. So do you want to talk about evolution some more?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So do you agree that all life on this planet is related?
Um, Related how?
Like related literally only means one thing, like you share genes.
No, I don't agree.
Okay. Why?
Because that's not what I believe, sir.
So you just don't care that we actually know what the DNA sequences for huge numbers of organisms on the planet is, and we have discovered scientifically for a fact that we actually do share genes?
That proves nothing to me.
So what is it that helps you how do you form your beliefs?
In general, sometimes I'll read articles about stuff that I don't believe, that I don't know about. I'll form my own opinions about it. And if I care enough to invest mental energy in it, that's what I do.
So if I showed you a scientific article that sequenced the genome of some random organism and I could show you that we share genes with it, you're still going to believe that it's false, even though that is how you form your beliefs?
I'll entertain it. I'll think about it.
Okay, well, I told this to you like a minute ago and you said, no, that's not true. So I don't really get what's going on.
Okay, what's the article?
I don't have one sitting here right now for you to look at, but we've sequenced the human and chimpanzee genomes, for example. Josh, you're not going to read a scientific article if I show it to you, are you?
You don't. Sure. I'll read it when I get a chance to.
All right, so it's in Nature. It was published all the way back in 2005. Initial sequence of chimpanzee genome and comparison with human genome. So just type in human and chimpanzee genome comparison in Google and it'll take you right there.
Okay.
So,
Okay, let me ask you this question. Do you think that somehow believing in the belief in the Bible is detrimental to people?
it certainly can be. I would argue that history tells us that when people were more dogmatic with regard to Christian beliefs, the world was a much worse place for humans.
You're talking about like during the Catholic Church ruling, like in Europe.
I mean, like colonial America had suffered some pretty horrendous things because of Christians and their beliefs. Like for example, there was this guy, I forgot his name, but he was beaten. It was in one of the early colonies in the 1600s, but he was beaten for the crime of, he was a white guy. He had relationships with a black person, and they said that this was an insult to God and God's creation. So yeah, I think that that's pretty bad. There were Courts in the United States rejected the idea of interracial marriage based on their Christian beliefs. They believe God created the races differently, and it would be wrong to mix them together. So, do you think that those things are bad, or do you think those things are fine?
Me personally, I've not read anything in the Bible that would forbid interracial unions, because like I believe that I know that like Moses had a wife that was not a Jew. Abraham and I mean I would I'm not really I've thought about that, but me personally, like I don't see in the Bible where there's any dogmatic doctrinal statement that says, you know, you can't marry someone of a different race. It's more, I think.
Well, the Bible says, for example, suffer not a witch to live, right? Do you think
Right.
that witches really exist?
I don't, yeah, I do.
Okay, so you think we should kill them?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a witch. I'm going to tell everybody. Uh-oh. Do you like
Okay.
Do you like this world that we've constructed together now?
Hey, that's what it is. I can't, so what?
Oh man. Well, Josh, you're not the dumbest person in the world, but after you are killed for witchcraft, no, I was going to tell a joke and I screwed it up. The joke was, you're not the dumbest person in the world, but you better hope they don't die. Because the joke is you're the second dumbest person in the world. But I screwed it up because you're going to be killed for witchcraft and you still wouldn't be the dumbest person in the world. Anyways, I ruined it. So that's the end of that.